Hey, Dave from Consumerize here, and I just got back from the Food Loves Tech Expo, which is held every year in Sunset Park, Brooklyn at Industry City. And it's a conference where tech startups that have some kind of connection to food or farming can show off what they're doing. It's a really interesting intersection, so we saw some really amazing stuff. The first booth we talked to was Seedcheap, which is a little bit like Blue Apron for farming. Check it out.
My name's Cam. I'm the founder and CEO of Seedcheap. Seedcheap's an ag tech company made in Middlebury, Vermont, and we use innovative materials and technology to make it ridiculously easy to grow good, healthy food. So what our product is we have these dissolvable pods, like laundry pods, but instead of soap, we have different kinds of organic, non-GMO seeds in a buffer of soil. So all that you have to do is put it seed side down, directly on top of a container full of soil, and as soon as you start to water, those pouches are going to dissolve. In about 30 seconds, they will entirely be dissolved. At that point, their seeds are going to come in contact with the moisture. They're going to sprout, come up through the weed-blocking fabric, and then you'll get the perfectly designed and spaced organic weedless garden. And then we have a Blue Apron approach. We kind of liken ourselves to be like the Blue Apron of gardening, and that we have different recipe-inspired kits. So the plants that are included inside of it will grow your different ingredients. We have a herb garden, salad garden, taco, hot sauce, cocktail, and caprese. So we are online right now. You can also design your own seed sheets on our website, which we then build to ship. We're not meal delivery, we're farm delivery.
We love anything about fermentation or beer. So of course we talked to the people at Pico Brew to see what they're up to.
Well, my name is Mike Brennan. I'm with Pico Brew, obviously. We're here featuring our cartridge line of brewing systems. So we have two of them. They're part of our Pico line. This is our second generation of automated brewing systems. Our first one being the Zymatic, which we developed in 2013 and released in 2014. We took that system and we scaled it down even smaller and came up with the Pico system. This is the Pico Pro, which we've had out since May of 2016. It's a cartridge system. You buy your cartridges from us. These are called Pico Packs. These are pre-filled recipe cartridges that contain all of your ingredients, all the grains, all of your hop additions. It's real all-grain craft brewing. These are all recipes that we have licensed from craft breweries around the world. As of right now, we have over 200 breweries that license recipes to us. We have brand leaders such as 21st Amendment in San Francisco, Coronado Brewing Company in San Diego. Today we're actually featuring Harlem Brewing Company. We feature their Harlem Wit. Here. You can actually make this beer in your own house. You open the pack up, drop the cartridge in the unit. The unit has an RFID tag, or the package has an RFID tag on the top. The unit scans that and downloads the proper brewing profile for that specific beer. About 2 hours in the unit, let that unfermented beer called wort cool overnight. You're going to pitch some yeast, give it about 4 to 7 days to go through fermentation, and then a day and a half to a week to carbonate, depending on whether you use forced carbonation, which is an option, or natural carbonation. At that point, you're drinking 5 liters, which is 14 bottles of beer worth, of brewery fresh draft beer. Anytime you have beer in a bottle or a can, you always lose something in the sensory side of it. This gives you that experience of going to that brewery, even if you don't live near that brewery. So with those brands out from California, from Seattle, I have brands in Germany. We have brands that we've signed in Brazil, all over the world. And you have that experience of having that draft beer in your house. This is the modernist take on beer. Absolutely. This is the modernist take on how to brew.
Okay, so hyperlocal is obviously really big. But what about on a commercial scale? To learn about that, we talked to Gotham Greens.
My name is Viraj. I'm one of the founders of Gotham Greens. We're an urban farming company based right here in Brooklyn, New York. So we build and operate climate-controlled greenhouses to grow fresh, sustainably grown local produce year-round. We have 3 greenhouse farms here in New York City and 1 in Chicago. Yeah, at Gotham Greens, we're really focused on growing greens. I mean, primarily because they're such a perishable crop that really comes from California and Arizona. So 98% of the lettuce in the United States comes from those 2 states. And here on the East Coast, that means that that produce has to be shipped 3,000-4,000 miles to get here, which really compromises flavor, nutrition, and the sustainability of it as well, as it's questionable. So that's why we really wanted to focus on salad greens. Well, we recently launched a novel product called Ugly Greens, which are basically our slightly bruised and blemished leaves. And prior to packaging and selling them, we would just enjoy them for staff meals. People would take them home. But we just wanted to help join this food waste movement, this growing chorus of people that are stepping up and advocating for less food waste in our food system.
Hyperlocal can have some serious benefits for restaurants too. I mean, imagine being able to grow produce just a few feet from the dining room.
I'm Andrew from Smallhold. We are the only mushroom farm in New York City. We're certified organic. We sell direct to a bunch of restaurants, but what we're really doing is installing our Smallhold mini farm into restaurants and retailers. We pre-grow produce 3/4 of the way. It's distributed in the system, and so they have the freshest stuff growing possible, organic, fresh, local, and affordable price. We incubate it for about 4 weeks, and so it's completely colonized. It's ready to go. It's ready to go into a fruiting area. We ship them this, and then they put it in our system, and then they're hands off. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes on in the background, but we take care of all of that. They wait, and then for these mushrooms, it's about 5 days, and then it'll look like that. They pick it off, and they do whatever they need to do with it. Sell it to their customers, prepare it, do whatever they need. We use all waste streams as well, so there's a really cool environmental impact of what we're doing. We're diverting a lot of materials from the landfill and growing a really high-value crop off of it. And then all of this is compostable as well in the end, so it makes sure that it goes to the right place. I think it's the same with most produce. Same day is better than 3 days old, it's better than 6 days old, it's better than 2 weeks old. But where I think the really interesting aspect is giving a customer more time to sell their produce. Even if you're getting produce a few days late, that means that you have less time to sell that stuff. And food waste is a huge issue in the United States and really around the world. We make it so we give them a little more time to sell that produce and make sure that it's the highest quality possible. Mission Chinese, if you walk in the door, you'll see our mushroom farm right there. They're growing tons of mushrooms right in front of the customer's eyes. And then Bunker Vietnamese actually prepared the mushrooms that we're serving today. They have a unit in the back of house. They're producing some of the best shiitake and oyster mushrooms you'd ever see.
And we're back. It's amazing to see how there's still an emphasis on freshness, but a few years ago that was more about tradition and back to the farm kind of culture. Now it's really about tech, sensors, farming in urban environments. There's been a huge sea change as to what freshness really means and how we get it. By the way, while I was there, I had an Impossible Burger for the first time. These are just rolling out across restaurants now and definitely worth trying. Totally different from any veggie burger I've ever had. There's no meat in it, but you could have fooled me. All right, thanks for watching.